On today's episode, we're going to talk about preparing for fast growth with one of the top CEOs in the country. Welcome to Thriving Launch with Luis Congdon and Kamala Chambers, this show for heart-centered entrepreneurs who want it all. How would you like to be able to interview world-class experts, sit down and have chats with people like Jack Canfield, Marianne Williamson, Robert Kiyosaki, Tim Ferriss, you name it? Would you love to interview other people that you really admire and consider to be your heroes? Well, we've created a course for you that teaches you how to podcast, how to set it all up, and how to get going so that you can really have a successful show and you can do it properly. Over at thrivinglaunch.com, we have a podcasting course, and it's there for you, waiting for you to snatch it up. So head on over to thrivinglaunch.com and let me teach you how to podcast the right way.
We're here with John Lincoln. He's the CEO of Ignite Visibility, a company that's been on the Inc. 5000 list twice.
All right, Thriving Launchers, let's bring on John Lincoln onto the podcast. John, are you ready to launch?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me here.
So, hey, let's talk about fast growth, because that's something that a lot of companies, a lot of people, no matter where they're at in their business, once they experience some sort of level up that's really big or tremendous, it can really mess things up. I mean, this is something that, coming from a relationship background and working in the background of relationships, I've seen too, where if couples are like really, really happy, they kind of almost have to do something to self-sabotage. And that's the same thing in business. So I'm curious, what do you think are some things that we can do or think about even before we have fast or super fast growth to kind of prepare us so that we don't sabotage?
Yeah, so so a little bit about me. I own a digital marketing agency. It's called Ignite Visibility. We are a SEO, paid media, social media, email marketing, conversion rate optimization company, which I started 6 years ago with my business partner, Krish Coffran. And, we've been growing fast since day one. So, now, going on 6 years, we've gone from nothing to now 58 employees. It's a lot of fun. I think fast growth is great. It keeps people excited at the company. There's always new challenges, and you really have to embrace it. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. You have to enjoy where you are. You have to enjoy the journey. You've got to make sure that's part of it. But also another really big part about fast growth that I've learned over time is planning ahead. So really forecasting and having a great system for forecasting where you're going. And what we've done here over the last year or two, since we've consistently had fast growth, is created a really clear model for our growth. So how many new clients are coming in? What is there attrition? What is the attrition percentage? Where do we need to add employees in what individual department? And then also even taking that a step further. So really standardizing and making sure that we've got really clear processes and procedures in place, and that there's no ambiguity around the company with the way that things are done to continue to have a really high quality level of service. And even right now, we're working on something called Ignite 3.0, which is really exciting for us. The third version of Ignite and all the latest new services that we're bringing to market for our great clients. So when it comes to fast growth, there's a lot of planning involved. It's not maintenance mode. It's not kind of sitting around and just having a chill type of business. It's about planning ahead. And but after you've done it for a while, now for me going on 6 years, it starts to become the norm, and you kind of know how to deal with it and how to scale effectively, and it's a ton of fun. So,
What are some strategies that you'd recommend to plan ahead for a company that's looking to grow fast?
So about 2 years ago, I read a book called Traction. Have you guys ever heard of Traction before, by any chance?
I haven't heard of it, no.
Okay, it's a good book. there's a lot of good books out there. That's one that's amazing. Traction, and then also Winning by Jack Welch are two books that I really like. Traction is for kind of the smaller business owner. And what it allows you to do is really systematize and processize your entire business using something called the Entrepreneur Operating System. So about 2 years ago, I went through that whole process, and we just dialed in every single aspect of the company: timelines, training programs, processes, tests for every single department, and exactly how we do every single thing. And even though after you do that, it's a constant process to continue training the staff, reiterating what's important, and making sure that you've got, good quality control. And then also letting your really, really smart team, with all these people, helping now, contribute to make things better every single day. So I would highly recommend that book. And then Winning by Jack Welch, that's for the billion-dollar companies, which are much bigger than us, of course. But when you read it, it really teaches you how to look at things from a macro perspective. And then finally, I also wrote a book a couple of years ago. It's a little older now, but it's called Digital Influencer. And that teaches people how to become an influencer in their space through the modern day digital marketing landscape. And that is really kind of talks about how, we used our blogging and our content marketing to become the #1 SEO company ranked, in the world right now. And that's really fueled our growth. So those things are really helpful. But, generally, there's a lot that goes into it. It's not just the things I talked about. It's also developing a great leadership team around you, having people that can support you, who have been there before, who you can talk through different scenarios with. That's another thing that's really, really important also.
As you've gone through your growth, have you guys hired some consultants or coaches to come in and support you guys through that growth? And if you have, I'm curious, what are some pointers that you might recommend to people as they are looking to potentially hire somebody to kind of help them have some of those insights? I think books are wonderful, and I also believe that at some point we probably end up hiring somebody to come in and support us or coach us.
It's a great point. Thanks for bringing that up. I went out and found everybody who had accomplished what I was looking to accomplish and who had already done it before. And I do have 3 consultants right now, one on the HR side, a CEO coach, and we've got a new CFO, COO who's really helping more actually as a implementer and part-time employee at this point. But yeah, so about a year ago, I knew we were going to keep growing. I knew I wanted to get some great guidance and not be guessing at things. And it was really helpful. So I do have a CEO coach. I meet with them every 2 weeks, make sure things are headed in the right direction. The person's had a company, 3 times my size. And it's just amazing because I bring our own unique vision to it, and I have a business partner, Krish Coffrin, as well, who we put together the vision together. But then just to have experience from this leadership team is just great. So I highly recommend it. And if you can't afford a premium coach or something like that, it's great just to get a mentor, right? And just meet with somebody regularly and talk through it. Somebody who's gone where you want to go, because eventually you end up rising to that level. So that's a great point, Louise.
Yeah. Find someone who's gone where you're looking to go and follow them as much as you can.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear if there's any other tips or tricks that you would give us before we wrap this up.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to, most people want to have a successful company. Most people want to grow, and there's all kinds of challenges that come with that. First, I think it's really important you figure out what you want out of life. Don't just grow to grow. Make sure that you really do want a big company instead of a different type of lifestyle type of business. That's pretty important. But if you do want to grow fast, one key to our success is, even though I'm the CEO of this company, I invest a lot of time in marketing and thought leadership and really kind of pushing things. And that's allowed us to have a little bit of an impact through the industry and kind of get noticed, right? So my point is invest in marketing when you're young significantly, because that's going to drive your growth, and always scale it as a percentage of your revenue. consistently. Don't back off of it. If you kind of keep the throttle going, at the same rate, then you'll continue to grow. So that's important. But good luck to all you fast growers out there. If you ever have any questions, I'm always happy to answer a couple through Twitter or something like that. So.
And Thriving Launchers, we're going to link up his books there on the page, the ones that he recommended, as well as John Lincoln's own book that he recommended there also. We reached out to John because his company has done fantastically well. They've really won some great awards. So Thriving Launchers, take to heart some of the suggestions that were noted here. For me personally, the number one thing I got away from today's interview was there are some books that I should read and some books that I haven't read that I should really look into, because books are really great to set seeds and to kind of help us guide through processes that maybe we've never thought that are really incredibly important, or mindsets that are really important as we're looking to grow and scale and make more money and just make a bigger impact in the world. So with that being said, Thriving Launchers, we'll catch you on the next episode, and keep thriving, y'all.
You've been listening to the Thriving Launch Podcast. For books and resources related to today's episode, make sure to head over to thrivinglaunch.com. We'll see you there.